Our first testimonial came from my mother-in-law, and I would really like you to help me welcome my mother-in-law, Val Wolfenden, up to the stage so she can tell you how MonaVie changed her health incredibly. Here's Val.
Hi everyone. This is very much a bigger room and more people than the first meeting I ever did in Melbourne 6.5 years ago. From little things, big things grow. But this part of my talk, because I think David wants me to say a few words a little bit later, is just how MonaVie came into my life and how it changed my life. And it was all due to Megan. Megan found out about MonaVie when she was living in the US, and it's a really funny story really. She checked out the company, as Megan is wont to do. So she checked out that it was a great company, and that everything there was really, really, really good. But she didn't know how to check out the juice. And she tried to give it to my son Anthony, who's photographed you saw on the board, and he didn't want to drink it. And what's more, he didn't want to give it to his grandchildren, or my grandchildren, sorry, he's only got children. They're my grandchildren. He didn't want to give it to them either to try, because he was very, very sceptical about the whole thing. So they devised a plot, it was, to test it on mother-in-law. I was the guinea pig. So they sent me a case of this juice. Now they sent it to me for a really good reason, because back then, that was 2006, I didn't look like I do now, and I didn't feel like I do now, and I couldn't move my hands like I do now. In fact, I had really, really bad osteoarthritis, and my hands were practically useless. There was just about everything I couldn't do, and I was at the stage of retiring, and it wasn't fair. There I was retiring, and I couldn't move my hands, couldn't do anything with them, couldn't even play sport or swim. It hurt so much. And they were very, very swollen and very, 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 very sore. So they devised this plot to send it to me to try. And when she told me she was going to give me a case of juice, I can't tell you how upset I was, because I'd been drinking noni juice and all sorts of juice for about 7 years. You see, I'd been living in denial of having had osteoarthritis. I didn't tell anybody I had it. I didn't want to know. So I lived in denial, but Megan sent me this case of juice, and what does a mother-in-law do dutifully to her daughter-in-law? Tell me what I did. I drank it. So I drank it, and to my absolute amazement, and this is almost unbelievable that I ask you to believe me, within 4 days, I felt a noticeable difference to these hands. And some of you might have read my story. It's a very, very true story, and a miracle story, really. So within 4 days, I noticed a difference in the pain level. And then within the second bottle that I was drinking, I noticed that the swelling started to go down. And I could actually flatten my hand onto a table. I could lift saucepans out of a cupboard. And I could do all the things that I hadn't been able to do for probably about 7 years. And so, to me, it was a miracle. It literally changed my life. So I phoned Megan and said, you've got to find out all about this before you come back from the US, because this is an amazing product and I want to share it with other people. And so that's really what happened. Thanks to Megan and my son, who wouldn't drink the juice, they said to me,